When we started this band, I was thinking it was love. Years gone by, I think we kicked some ass. The rage is on stage. I ain't about to do my bass and I we're still.
All right, guys, it's 6:32. It is May 17th. It is Wednesday. Some people are saying how Elon's not doing his job, that you can't see this on Twitter, which you've always been able to see it on Twitter. Maybe all my tech guys come in and check it out and how to redo it. It is on YouTube, though, I guess. So I won't be able to say hello to my dogs around the world because mine also says content not available. Great job, guys. Anyway, maybe I'll be talking to myself for a little while. So I usually talk to myself anyway, but I'm usually in the sauna on my ice barrel getting my day together, not here in the 6:30 club. Anyway, hopefully everyone's feeling well. My name is Scott Redler, Chief Strategic Officer of T3Live.com. Let's see if anyone from the Alpha team could see this. Let's go. Alpha team. Let's see. Good morning. Good morning. Anyone able to watch the Pound 6:30 Club? Let's see. Anybody? Test. Oh, this is the Alpha team where they get to watch my positions live when I take them off, put them on, manage them, like add shares, take off shares, use the tier system, all things that we try and do. We got somebody. We got teaching jars in the house. Maybe it's just me. I can't watch myself. Isn't that funny? Not that I want to. Anyway, what up, Peggy? All right, so got some people saying it's all right. Oh, there it comes in. Oh, I guess you got to tune in. So anyway, it is what it is. Let's get to it. Bottom line is, every day you hear different narratives, different talk, and there was so much talk about the equal weight S&P on how it looks a lot more bearish than the S&P cash and the S&P because the S&P has Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Google, Nvidia, all the names that have been acting well that traders have been gravitating towards. Yesterday I was had a great day in so many names that have been manageable, but if you go off the path and you try and get involved in other things that might start new active sequences, you have to be like very, very careful because one good trade takes away from a bad trade, and vice versa. And then if you take profits on things that are working, guys are holding on to things that are not working and losing more there than the things that are working. It's just been, probably a little bit more, frustrating than other times. And then on the way to work, to get my iced coffee, listening to 1010 Wins, and they're talking about the migrants and how New York City's got 60,000 migrants and they're shipping buses to Westchester, to Long Island, to towns that literally have no infrastructure for 90 miles from Mexico and Pakistan and all these places that what the hell's going on in this world? Anyway, if you look at the news and you look at social media, it could definitely drive you nuts. That's why I keep the TV off. I look at my macro. I read what's happening just on paper around the world somewhat, and then I really just look at the charts. And I try and figure out how I could actively approach it and make some money. And at this point, here you are with the S&P cash. This has been almost 32 days of sideways action, which without a performance and things to do. If you look at the charts and you use your chart patterns and you use your prior days high, your prior days low, there are ways to navigate it. But until it changes, you just got to stay with what's working. And that's been high beta tech and mega cap tech. It wasn't working a year ago. I remember 3 weeks ago, somebody in the Alpha team said to me when I was looking at Google at 106, 107, I'm trying to position options for catch up and a breakout. He's like, it's almost like you're focusing on Intel. I'm like, what? Or even Amazon, because there are times when stocks aren't acting well. Then there's times when they wake up, and when they wake up, you have to notice it, and that's when you got to get in there and not chase it after everyone else is talking about it. So anyway, here's a chart of the S&P cash. Here's this inside range, still there. I think Biden's coming home to figure out the debt ceiling. We'll see if we get to any kind of resolution there. Anyway, can't get too bearish if the S&P cash holds 4,098. Can't get too bullish if we don't close above 4,041, 54 or 41.64 with authority. If we break here, then you have the 50-day, and then you have where we've held, 2 other times. And, you look at the weekly chart, it's even tighter. You look at the SPYs, yesterday, 2 days ago, it looked like it was cheating to the upside, and then yesterday to the downside. And now where are we at? We are, I think we are right in the middle. Let's see, where is that? Yeah, here's your SPY. Someone is like, I like when you put up the level 2 and show where it's at versus the range. Well, this is, where'd it go? Where did my little SPYs go? Let's put this one up there then. So, in my 6-screen setup, I have, by the way, I have just say these kind of things. Just say, you guys want to see how it sets up? So I have all of these level 2s that I watch when the market opens, and I have them all in groups. So on my active screen, I have just say I have AMD next to NVIDIA. I have Shop next to, some of the earnings plays that acted better. And then I have, usually the SPYs over here. And then I have right underneath it, I have the Qs. So, I'm always looking at how it's kind of going. And then you have in Amazon, here. And then next to Amazon, what would you have next to Amazon? If you think about it, you have maybe a CRM. What do you have next to CRM? Maybe you have a Microsoft. So my screen, it's a little old school, is set up like this with 12 level 2s right here, and then I have a different set here, and then up here I have my, what's it called, my trend spider, where I have my daily charts, and then over here I have the alpha team, and then over there I have my news, and over there I have other websites. So I have a 6-screen setup, but during the day, I get my snapshots, and then I also have level 2s. What's a level 2? A level 2 is just not a level 2, a market watch where there's 15 stocks in one sector where I don't see the inside market. I just see kind of what it's doing. Somebody just asked me to put that up there, so just playing along. So anyway, let's get rid of these. Boom. So there is there is the SPYs, which is where I get my pivots from. Right now we're up a little bit. If we were to go red and break below 410.23, then you have 408.64, and then you have 403.78. Anyway, so we'll see what happens here today. The Q's made another new high, went to 328.90. It's been trending along. Yesterday, a lot of the guys on the alpha team, including me, did very well with NVIDIA, very well with AMD. Why? Not because people were talking about it on TV, but the trend has been strong and the charts are really nice. I talked 2 days ago. I'm like, guys, NVIDIA is still trending, still above the 8-day. Usually after 4 or 5 days of consolidation, which is what it had right here, it's a good time to get involved. That's just what the trend has been. So, bought NVIDIA 2 days ago, and I added to it while it was red, and then I made really good money here. I'm still long some NVIDIA. We'll see how that goes. Let's see. I want to see if this is working. So annoying technology these days. Actually, I think it's working in some capacity. Anyway, and then 2 days ago with the alpha team, when AMD came in, I'm like, all right, AMD was really strong. Had to move from 91.60 to 99.94. I bought it as it held the 8-day, right? That was kind of the way it broke out. And I didn't expect it to go to 103. And look at that move. That was a nice move. So NVIDIA and AMD made me a lot of money the last 2 days. And then also, like I said before, I remember, I don't remember exactly when it was, but guys were making fun of me for targeting Google. And meanwhile, Google had a sick move. Google, this is where I was targeting it. Okay. If you were targeting it here, to start the year, it wasn't good. And then finally went sideways. It broke above the 8 and 21 day. And you had a big move right to my resistance area. Remember this weekly chart that I gave you guys? I talked about the bull flag to get to the 119 to 122 area. Well, igniting bar, consolidation, boom. So you don't have to know if we're going to be in a recession in 6 months. You don't have to listen to the idiots about the debt ceiling. You don't have to listen to the advanced decline line. You don't have to listen to 10-10 wins about the migrants. All you have to do is say, hey, Google has been acting better. Money's been hiding in high beta in mega cap tech. Really nice chart pattern. How do I want to play? Do you want to use options? Do you want to buy calls? Do you want to buy a call spread? Do you want to just be in the stock? Boom, sideways up. I try not to be too smart because I'm really not that smart. Anyway, then I figured, hey, maybe Microsoft can make its way actually to 326, and it did. This also, look at this bull flag. Flag, sideways, continuation. And now it's almost doing it again. Where, this is what is this? This is 326. We'll see if it works towards there. Amazon, it's just above this quadrant. Remember, I'm like, if we can get above 109, it could see 114, and I do think it could work its way to the 200-day, which is right here. Amazon's been horrible. Okay, then finally started to talk about its own AI to go shopping in its cloud and whatever, and now it seems like it's on its way to 120. How it gets there, you have to figure out, how to participate, how to buy dips, how to play a breakout, etc., etc. And 2 days I came in this week without Amazon, and then Amazon was kind of consolidating. I'm like, I'm going to buy a little Amazon. I'm going to let it go against me, accumulate it to engage it, because when it gets above this, this bull flag, I want to be involved. So I started buying it on this day, and everyone's like, Red Dog, you're buying it into. I'm like, well, I'm kind of anticipating it. I just kind of feel like it's going to work out. We played it from here, made good money. I sold it all, bought some, added, and then yesterday got paid. Right, and it does seem like it's on its way to 121. So there are ways to do it, ways not to do it. I'm also anticipating that Apple gets better, but that's been hurting for now. Why is it hurting? Because it's lethargic. I tried to buy options. The options aren't really working, but doesn't mean it's not going to work. But I'm kind of trying to stay with it. All in all, this has been pretty annoying. You had a big move up on earnings, and it's just consolidating. It's either annoying the hell out of you, which I'm trying not to let it annoy me because I'm doing all these other things that are working, but it's sucking a little bit of energy out and a little bit of P&L out, which is fine. But I will see when Apple gets on the inside market and I see volume and there's some kind of catalyst and I don't know what it's going to be. They got to start talking about their own AI. Geez, then maybe I'll get in there with huge size and make back what I kind of lost in this little range with brain power and options. And at some point, it gets a lot better. But until then, it's on the B list until it really wakes up. And it looked like it was going to wake up yesterday. It didn't. But anyway, or it breaks 171 or 170.76, which is the low right here, and it gets choppy, goes in the gap, and Apple says, hey, spies are going to be breaking 410, not above 414. That's why you got to watch here. And then if you go to the weekly chart of Apple, you see how it's hovering. Okay, all it's really doing is letting this 8-day catch up, and then maybe after time it'll catch up and go sideways enough where then it takes it out and makes an assault on the all-time high. That's a big maybe. That's if the market wants to be strong. Okay, it was funny yesterday. I was still here. I usually leave at lunchtime, and I don't really have it on a lot. But my friends from Fast Money were on talking about AI. I've been talking about this one and that one and this one and that one. Okay, you guys talk about trades, but anyway, talking about how we haven't even come near the AI bubble, that it's going to get so exciting and everyone's going to get so crazy, kind of like back in NASDAQ 5000 when you just put a .com on everything, which was hundreds of stocks, and then they would all come public and you made everyone a lot of like that's going to happen. I'm like, so what's going to happen? We're going to have this AI boom with hundreds of IPOs coming public, or are you talking on the other side of your mouth that we're going to get this move back to test the October lows and the Fed's going to have to cut rates twice in the second half of 2023 because the market got hit so hard and they went too far and we're going to have all these bank failures. So are we going to have bank failures and they're going to cut rates twice? Or are we going to be in this AI revolution that causes a bubble with hundreds of companies coming public, just like back then? We'll see. So again, don't be just listening to what's happening out there because it's going to drive you batty. Listen to the charts, and at this point, Apple right now, if it could hold 171, it's still fine. If not, be careful because it could come in. Meta still acts well. Meta kind of had the same thing. It had a big gap up, came in, didn't fall apart, but it just said it needs some time. And now, if this is Meta right here, it's still trying to build a bit of a bull flag to continue to the upside. I'm trying to stay with this one also, but every day there's like a different thing happening. Elon was on CNBC yesterday. That stock's been broken. Years ago is my note. Same like Apple. Like people used to call me an Apple trader like 6, 7 years ago when it was strong and going and there was momentum. It's still okay. Then Tesla was a name that when it's in play, I like to be there because when Tesla moves and moves nicely and moves technically and moves cleanly, but not anymore. Tesla has been a choppy mess, and at this point, it's been broken for quite some time, right? And this is what it looks like. So this is 169.76. Here they sold the enthusiasm that Elon was going to find a CEO for Twitter 6 months before people thought. And now it's like, it's on the C list. I traded rarely. Every now and then you get a good trade like here. Thank goodness we use our tier system to sell. I remember here, thank goodness we were able to get out as it filled the gap. And now today will be an interesting day for it because if it can't hold up today, if Tesla can't just say, hold whatever morning strength it has, it's up 250. So here's your Tesla. Oh, look at that. All the level twos are back. This is Tesla right here. Let's make it bigger. I could even make it bigger. Oh, here we go. Ready? Woo! It's at 169.05. So for today, which is the thought, can Tesla get above and stay above 169.76, which is the 2-day pivot? If so, maybe it negates some of the strength of this wide range outside bar that gave you a move down here. If it can't, if it opens up and fails, then you just know that I don't even know what Tesla could do in order to get some excitement and momentum back here. Maybe it's just turning into Ford and GM. All I know is, so today's an important day right here. At that moment, that is the battleground. So every now and then I focus on things to see where the battleground is, to see who wins, the bulls or the active bears, so I could play along. Some guys are like, hey, what do you think of AI now? Because AI gave us a really nice trade. This was tough yesterday. I'll tell you, this was kind of tough. You had a big move, which put it in perspective was a very big move. So there was no upside follow through. So it was hard to tell how much it would, how much time it would need to digest, what part of the range it would be in. But thank goodness it went from, it went from down $1, traded through 24.31 hit 24.81 and gave you a way out. That's why I'm going to stay with it. If all of a sudden it opened down $1 and went down 2 or 3 in my face and I lost a lot of money, I'd be like, all right, this stock is not something I want to be involved in. So now if it could hold 22.75 and go sideways, maybe it could digest to continue. Because again, I remember we made all this money when I went to 34 before Hindenburg came out and put a short report that Siebel said was bullshit. Excuse my French. I cursed, I'm sorry. So anyway, I will stay with this as long as it kind of holds above here. I have a little less on. I was able to trade out of it yesterday. Some guys were in UPST yesterday and really lost a lot of money. I lost some money yesterday too because I went after it too fast. But if you look at it like this, you're like, okay, what did it do? Here was your post-earnings move, which wasn't great. It came in, left a little bit of the gap unfilled. So it showed a little bit of power, then came out with news. So all it did yesterday is give you a bit of an inside day. It didn't fall apart. Didn't really let you out of it. You had to be very careful buying it to trade around it. And now we'll see, does it hold 1875 to clear this to give you a little bit more upside? We're looking to see if there's anything else that could be in play besides Amazon and Google and Microsoft and Apple and Meta and Netflix at times and AMD. And even though that's enough, that's 8 stocks. You don't need more than 8 stocks to make a living. You probably don't need more than 2 or 3 that you know really well to net money. But every now and then a stock does come in and come out. And if you look here, some guys like, why are you turning to? I'm like, yeah, just maybe there's a trade there. You look at the weekly chart. I remember how much money this made me here and there, and I really didn't trade it from 311 all the way down. And now it looks like maybe it's a little reborn. Listen, if it does, just so you show how a trade changes, this trade would change in my mind if it breaks or stays below 1875. All of a sudden it breaks below 1875 and stays below it. I'll get out of it and I'll say, you know what? I'm done with this thing. It's not worth my time. It's not worth the real estate on my screen. If it hangs here and I get to know it, and then all of a sudden it takes out 2064 and you have a void here to the 200-day, hey, then it's just an active setup that comes in and comes out. Same way people are looking at SHOP as an active setup. Right now it's been a pain in the butt for most. You had this big earnings gap, okay? And then it wound up going as high as 65.13, which was nice. And now it's just trickling. So, if you're watching, I haven't traded it once since I'm kind of watching it. This is 60.12. So now see, hey, does 60.12 hold? Maybe you get some kind of, you know, trade around this where it breaks below, comes back above it, and and then all of a sudden continues or not. Again, shop a lot of people fell in love with and made a lot of money back in the day, but this one too lost its composure around 133, and actually this hit the 200 day. But anyway, you got to find out when new sequences happen, new things to stay with, or again you stick with what's working, but then what's working sometimes changes. So what's helping this morning? I guess the KRE is still, not making new lows. So when the KRE breaks and makes new lows, that's when the computers trigger some sell programs. So for today, I think the KRE is up a little bit because WAL came out and talked about, I guess their financial status, which is they're not losing deposits. So maybe that won't be a headwind today. But people are like, when, technically, when could you have changed or switched gears on the regional banks? Right here in February 17th. Okay, right there. A little bit after, hopefully had a great Valentine's Day. And then when it broke the macro trend right here. So technically things happen well before they create narratives around them. Anyway, that's that. I hope you were able to watch this. I hope that I wasn't just talking to myself. I do sometimes, and I'll have my IT guys check out whether or not they can go and get us live on Twitter, because I know a lot of us like to interact. You guys like to ask questions. I like to feel like I'm, have my guys and my crew and my pound, and instead of me trying to figure out whether or not it's not working that way. So anyway, good luck today. It's Wednesday. We're still in the range. We'll see what happens. You have your levels. We know what's been leading what. Listen up a little bit. I think there is some, more debt ceiling focus later today, and there's going to be also focus on the consumer. Target and TJX are coming out. Home Depot kind of reinforced the fact that the consumer is slowing down. The 10 increases in rates is slowing things down, which is what it's supposed to do, which is what the Fed wants to tame inflation. So the question is now, are we normalizing, or are we heading for a soft landing, or are we heading for a hard landing? And at this point, it's hard to tell. So just trade what's in front of you and try and be planned enough so you can have multiple situations in your head so you can execute with confidence when the market shows you which one it's leaning towards. Not which one you're leaning towards, which one the market's leaning towards. All right, good luck to you guys. Alexa, play Motley Crue Radio.
Okay, Motley Crue Radio from Pandora.